Today is January 18th, 2023. Okay. Still going on today. Um, that agent from out of the area with his family running this drug scam isn't funny. And people were stupid helping him out. Very stupid. Um, it took me a long time to figure out what they were doing. And then some people just flat out had to come out and say it. Nobody drugs people but drug dealers, terrorists, serial killers, and occults. They don't. It's illegal to us to attempt a murder. I was drugged the hell out of. Today people were following me. I gave a full statement. Um, in my car, I went for a walk in the park, distressed. Went and got something to eat, and then people are still following me yelling stuff, and they're stupid. Even on Sunday, my one client on Turquoise Street, straight across the street, they had Canton Police had already told them not to say anything to me. They knew the tapes before were them and not me, and they were looking for who actually did it. Okay. Well, there's a big house right next to it. They had actually been part of the bad people. And somebody's on the phone with that lady and said, no, and she's like, no, I didn't know they caught all those kids saying they were lying on tape a long time ago. Thanksgiving 18. It's like, you're slow, right? Yes, you did know. You're just part of the scam. I go out and the kids to get a soda out of my vehicle. And the kids are saying my mom's told everybody not to say anything to her. They found all the kids lying during the case a long time ago. Okay. Well, then later on that night, people are out there. They're like, well, they told all of us we were just supposed to yell stuff at her to make fun of her for calling the FBI. They wouldn't have you make fun of me for calling the FBI. They're doing anything in the world to get people to participate in this hate crime, make up every scenario, and people are falling for it. You had 4 attempts on your life, 2 are documented by the police, and then witnesses of others, and people impersonating you, costing you jobs, and a church member saying it's them trying to kill you. You call the FBI too. Okay? So yeah, I told you. I'm not going to go through the rambling of, that Dave was dating his daughter and all this other stuff. We already told you all that. Well, it's just a big drug scam. And I've told you that too. And, I was getting the hell drugged out of me before I called the FBI, and then really bad after the Protected Light case. Got them on tape and audio, an illegally bugged house after September 27th, 18, of them abusing the hell out of me if somebody pulls a case. See, that agent had to open that case, and for people to, for officers to watch me, and him to steal the $5,000 a month, and those drug dealers that showed up down here. He ran a major drug scam. Somebody I was talking to, you know people, you know people, you know people. He said, I know somebody actually deals drugs, that I know somebody who knows somebody who knows him. And said if those people that were breaking and drugging him, they were drug dealers. And for them to show up from out of the area and show their face and do the crimes in front of people, he had to owe them a lot of money. And they stayed here till he paid them off. See, he stole over $300,000 from the witness protection program. He put me in it. And he stole it, embezzled. They said he took it on day 1. He sold the login. He sold terrorism online. He had people drug me, human traffic me under drugs. I'd wake up and men would be raping me, and I'd go to fight them off in the room, go back, and I'd wake up with bruises. And they'd show up at wherever I was the next day and laugh at me and walk on. He also had them rape and torture me during the case, and sold videos of it, and sold the case itself. Selling police information is 13. He showed it to his 5-year-old little girls. That is a form of child molesting. He's a sexual predator. To kick in my door before I even get moved in, my ex had found his daughter and him in that store, and he was in debt. And he's the one that him and his friends kicked in my door and then date rape drugged me in Photoshop scene and running this big scam. And they had to trick me into calling the FBI so that he could open that Protected Light case. And then he sold the login and kept the terrorism up for people to pay for it. He made millions. Those drug dealers showed up and beat up cars, and within a few months were driving $80,000 trucks each. There was, by no later than August of 19, this guy had been around me for a long time. Light to medium gray truck. Um, Shaved head, African American, looked like a bodybuilder, tattoos. There was a white man, same kind of look, from North Carolina. They were always around me. They even on the highway on 62 got out, had a big wad of cash and got out of his truck and walked over and handed it to him. They were doing drug deals on the thing. Okay. Um, He said, this one guy said that, for those drug dealers to show up and hurt you in public, he had to owe them a lot of money, and they want to make sure they got it. And they said somebody wanted to know how much money they stole from the case. Well, I didn't want to tell them they sold the login. I said, well, 300,000. He said, well, they said the sweet spot between $100,000 and $300,000 is the sweet spot. It's a whole drug shipment. Okay. Well, a year and about 4 or 5 months ago, this one guy named Michael started texting me through this dating app. And then he tried to say he was some kind of doctor, and then he was going to buy into oil. I'm like, why would you want me? You could have young and beautiful, you know? And he started talking to me. And then found out he was dealing with a major drug dealer. And he called me on the phone once. And a lady in the back, hi, Karen. It's funny, she doesn't know what's going on. His phone went completely blank. And then he's like, oh, hi, darling. Da, 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 da. Okay. Well, my one client lived at Oakland Apartment. That's where they told the maintenance man that everything was drugged and photoshopped on December 9, 21 at 4 o'clock. A lot of people have told on these people, and then they even confessed all the tapes before with them. November 18, 22 at Walmart 62 by the hair salon, screamed out a confession. Drunk or high as a kite. Okay, so how it was framed and all, it was all their ID, and they did about whatever. All right, and then they ID'd him November 24, 22 at Mercy Medical to a Canton officer. That was some guy named Eric they've been looking for. Okay, and then they talked about the case and that agent pulling me into a false statement. They knew they ran experiments on me, and they need to realize how not funny this is, that nobody ever said anything bad about me, really. Okay, so and that was at Mercy Medical, November 24, 22. Okay, so this is his big drug scam. He had all those. Well, that guy said right after that at Oakland Apartment, people were coming up and said the mob lord's mad. And I thought, what would a mob lord have to do with anything? The mafia's mad. What would they have to do with anything? It's a made up scenario, right? Then I was with my client. We went to Sheetz. These guys come in, and now the guy that I was helping take care of, very large young guy, okay, anger issues. They come up behind me, yeah, right, you're a child molester. He clenched his hands. I'm like, stay out of this. Stay out of this. He looked over, he's going to punch him. I'm like, stay out of this. The guys run to the bathroom. Well, a bunch of other guys and this one older guy walks out and said, nobody better say a word to her with what's going on. Okay. All right. And he was so mad. He's like, I was going to punch those two guys that's saying that. He said, I don't care. They're not going to say, yeah, right, you're not. And you're not going to say anything about you. And I'm like, stay out of it. I'll tell the police to pull it, get an ID on them. Okay. So then they start talking about, down at the Oakland Apartment, about Strange down there. That somebody warned you better make sure nothing happens to her anymore, da 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 da. And they were telling Strange off. And then and I'm like, yeah, right. And then they were talking about the case and knowing people drug me and tell me to say stuff before they talk about Judge Pete down there. They all know about the case because they sold the login. And they're talking about this mob lord again. And then, then they mention him again in the spring. Okay. Well, when I was talking to my one friend I had dinner with, and he's like, that's a major drugs shipment that they took up money for. So all these low-life little drug dealers from out of state came together, ran this big scam with this agent out of the area. Because he owed him money. Because why didn't he arrest Dave when he met him in the store that day? Because it was his daughter. Michelle. Were they bragged it's just their family doing this? Huh? Why do you bully me on the phone? Because he's going to run this big scam. He owed those people money. Could have been gambling, could have been whatever, but they were drug dealers. They came from North Carolina, Georgia. There's a gentleman's club from Florida, Henry Moffey, from Facebook and Instagram showed up. And a guy from Michigan. And there were some people from New York. Okay? They came down here and ran this big scam. Sold a police protective light case, kept the terrorism up, showed it to people. Okay? And showed a real rape and torture on a person to low as 5-year-olds. These are sexual predators that will break in and watch you on the toilet, the shower. It's sexual predating. To Photoshop a shower scene in the other room just being asinine is a part of sexual predating. Them showing a real rape and torture to 5-year-old little girls is child molesting. And these people were letting drug dealers take their kids out by their own. That were showing them rapes. That use amnesia drugs on people and rape them. That's how stupid the people are in this area. Okay? Well, the other day in Walmart, the guy that said they better not say anything, he was there again. There was this big guy with him. He walked up and said hi, the big guy, and I'm like, hi. I look over and I see that guy and he walks off. He said, you can go up and say something to her. He said, no. He said, anybody say anything to her today? He said, no. Good. And I thought, who are you? I should have just walked up and introduced myself. I don't know who he is. He stopped it like a year ago. I had people drive by me yelling, fuck you, bitch, screaming stuff at us, coming in. It's funny they raped her. It's funny they drugged her and told her to say it before. And my client, he had anger issues. He's like, Karen, this is crazy. These people showing up in stores, admitting to drugging you up and telling you to say stuff before and admitting to raping you in front of people. I'm like, stay out of it. I'll tell the police. I only had bruises. I got sick on drinks, and I woke up with more bruises. I've never even been questioned of wrongdoing. I'll tell the police. Okay? And I'll stay out of it. Okay? Well, I went to go to the gas station real late last night because I worked till 11. And it was close to midnight. And I went in and got a hot chocolate and some other things. And this big guy came in and looked at me. I went to leave. And he said, this kid's out there and said, we all know that nobody's ever said anything wrong about her before. None of this is funny, and everybody sees these big guys showing up that we haven't seen before. They're here. I have asked the FBI to send people from all there. They better hope it is. Because, where that guy said they ran a big drug scam and shipment, it's a bunch of low-life drug dealers doing it that were owed by that agent. Running the scam. You do realize the big bad people that order the drugs and then filter it down through their little drug dealers for little lowlives to come in this area and do it and take their drug profit money? Yeah, they're going to be mad. Has nothing to do with me, nor would I condone anybody hurting anybody. But you're just using me as a pawn. See, I went up to the casino with a friend and their phones are going off. And they're like, that's the one that church tried to have killed. No, it's not funny why all them helped out. They did it to run a big drug scam and defraud the federal government of over $300,000 for the Witness Protection Program, sold the protective light case, and kept terrorizing the victim on every level, and then sold videos of it online to make money to score a drug deal. There's people in Georgia on a bad drug shipment that 3 or 4 are dead. Those people were up here. You do realize that, right? The Asian lady showed up after the shooting night where I had a hide on by Christmas 18. She was around me till last February or March, and she disappeared. Some people were outside. Someone from the case disappeared. They need to make sure she's okay. She found out they tortured me trying to get her help. These people will kill you. They're embezzling from the federal government, and they're looking at 30 years without the drugs, the rape, the torture, and the selling of the police information. And it's an agent out of his area. I lived in Portage County. I called the hotline. We'll have an agent call you back. I Googled it. Should have went to Akron. Not a FBI task force agent in the courthouse at Canton. And then he can't do it because it's his daughter, that my husband was dating. And he's the one that that's why all this happened. And they've been yelling that it's just him stealing from the case since day one, all the way to Pennsylvania. Because they made this public. Everybody knows. It's just like on February 2nd, 22 in Burlington Coat Factory, somebody admitted to drugging me and told me to say it before. People ran and saved a lot. My client lives on 6th Street in Maslin, and across the way, an African-American man ran out of his house, out of the brown house, and yelled at the postman. Postman's like, we all heard him admit to drugging her and tell her to say it before. They've ran this like a reality show. I leave this area, people, I go up and look, it's Karen's will, the FBI informant. Or that's Karen around the house. Yeah. They look at me like a reality person. It makes me mad. You know, at first it horrified me to the point that I'd run and throw up in bathrooms and gas stations or double up and the other way. Now it's just to the point I just look away. People come up and they'll say, I want to meet her. I almost died to save my family. And everybody knows it. And people talk about it clear out to warrant. She almost died to save her family, and they don't even know it. You should tell them. Everybody has it. Like they said, everybody knows what's going on but my family. Everybody knows. And everybody knows I'm innocent. That's where it's ridiculous. I was found innocent of everything in 18. You put the Portage County Courthouse, put my birthday, my name, it comes up my divorce. You put in Stark County CGIS, put my name, my birthday, or my name. You could even just go down through my name. And then what's there is my one traffic ticket from 89, my legal certificates of being a notary, CCW, that stuff like that, my bankruptcy, and then some tax liens that I paid off on my house. That's it. Everything that they've done is a made-up scenario for people to help out in this. And it is a major drug scam. And there is big, large people here. So I don't know either. They said the agent that called me back, sent back laughing that nobody's arrested him for doing this to me. Then he sent back laughing at some guy said he told me everything he did to her. And I told him that I didn't think it was funny. And he said he thought it was funny, nobody arrested him. The agent that called me back did all this. Nobody's as powerful. And it's a lack of people. I know sheriffs out of this area, and they want to know if the local police are slow. They should have arrested him. They should have arrested him. He can't do one crime. He can't even bully me on the phone. It's badgering. Department of Justice 1729 lost his badge instantly. The only thing legally he did on that phone is list me informant and start the case and put me in protected custody. And then get the money that goes along with it in the diplomatic immunity. Nothing else on that phone was legal. Even somebody who worked in the prosecutor's office said he can't do anything else. And they can't go along with it. Police know better. This whole thing's been nothing but a scam for people's low IQ. I'm going to upload this, but somebody needs to help. And I do need out of here.